Good evening, good evening, good evening out there. How you guys doing? It's Mike and Brother Jay back with the Soberheadz podcast. 12 and 12 book we rocking from the day, and we on step 2.
Step
What
two.
up, Jay? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Just got off the road from Rock Hill, South Carolina. So was excited when you called to say let's jump on it and do some teaching tonight, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm just trying to do God's work, man. Get some
Oh
stuff
yeah.
done, man. What's going on? You been enjoying the games and stuff out?
Yeah, the game's good, man. Been some good games. I like how Iowa State playing defense right now.
Mm,
St. John's just won. Duke
mm.
is Duke. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna start watching the Sweet 16. What day they start playing? Like on Thursdays?
yeah.
All right, I'm
So
gonna start trying to check it
yeah.
out to see. It's hard. I'm gonna have to play catch up because I don't really know all this transfer in the NIL. I don't really know
Yeah,
what
I mean,
school
but
these
it's
kids go
it's
to.
different. I mean, I feel sorry for the high school kids out there that's trying to get a scholarship right now because most
I know,
coaches just
bro. That
always
joint
looking to
crazy.
transfer for
That
them.
joint
So
crazy. That joint crazy. Are we on step 2 tonight, bro?
step
Came
two.
to believe that a power greater than myself, which is God, can restore me to sanity. Now, let's start off with the step 2. Like I always like to do this to start off with, like talking about if you feel that God got to restore you to sanity, like how was you insane during the addiction? This let's talk about it with that. Like, just give one example. Like, were you insane during your addiction? If you feel so, why? Like, and then
Oh
I'll
yeah,
answer mine. Then we can get
I
started.
definitely was insane during my addiction, man. And part of the reason why is because of the suicidal thoughts. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I mean that point alone. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah.
said, I remember being on the third floor my apartment complex and looking out on
Mm-hmm.
the balcony like I was going to jump off of it. You know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and like I said, if not by the grace of God, you
Mm-hmm.
know, who knows? So,
Indeed, man. Indeed. Insanity to me, bro. It was just like really thinking about I can't stop doing this, but I keep thinking it's gonna be better than it was yesterday, especially
mhm.
in the end. Like that's how alcohol is so cunning, baffling, and powerful because in the beginning it was mad fun. Then when you get to the end, it's like, but it seemed like it goes overnight. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm partying in Vegas and Dres and all of these different spots, and then I'm in the basement by myself drinking, and I can't get out the basement now. But the next day when I get up and I tell myself I'm not gonna drink today, power took over he's taking over my stairwell, and next thing you know, I'm in the parking lot of the liquor store. But then my mind tells me that it's gonna be like it was when you used to go to Vegas. but then I'm in the liquor store. I mean, in the basement, all drunk, and you know how the alcohol do it go up. You be all
Yeah.
elated, but when
Mhm.
you get in that end stage, the depression kicks in
Oh yeah.
heavy.
It's funny you said you could that
Yeah.
stairwell will take you places, man. I remember I was working for a
Uh-huh.
company who gave us a vehicle, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
a cell phone and a laptop, and
Mm.
every car had a camera in it. You know what I mean? And I would drive to the liquor store, turn the car around the other way. So man, crazy, man.
Yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Insane.
man. Um, and the last part I'm gonna talk about, then we could get started reading and going at it. The insanity was real serious for me because it came at a point of what's up, Blur? I love you, Blur. I love you, bro. Um, it came at a point of when I was going through the situation, it was like it was working. It was 100% fun, 0% depression. Then it
Yeah.
was 75% fun, 25% depression. Then it was like 50% fun, 50% depression. Then it went to 25% fun,
75.
75% depression. Then it went to 0% fun, straight depression. But my mind was so insane, I thought it
Yeah.
was gonna be like it was when it was 100. And that's how it grabs you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It
Oh,
grabs you
yeah.
and then it holds on. But then when it got you, you be you be stuck, bro. Like
It's
you be
hard,
really
hard,
stuck,
very hard.
bro. Or respond. Let's get at it. All right, you wanna go
Sure.
first, or you want me to go first?
Yeah, the moment they read step two, most AA newcomers are confronted with a dilemma. Sometimes a serious one. How often have we heard them cry out, "Look what you people have done to us. You have convinced us that we are alcoholics and that our lives are unmanageable. Having reduced us to a state of absolute helplessness, you now declare that none but a higher power can remove our obsessions. Some of us won't believe in God, others can't, and still others who do believe that God exists have no faith, whatever He will perform this miracle.
Mm,
Yes, you've got us over the barrel, all right, but where do we go from here?
mm,
Where do we go from here?
What you got on that, brother?
I mean, it's the faith part for me. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I had already had the foundation of growing up in the church, knowing who God was, and I
Mm-hmm.
think I just went to God sometimes when I needed something. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then you know, going through the addiction when I hit rock bottom,
Mm-hmm.
I had no other choice but to. I couldn't do it by myself no more. I had no control, and I was like, "Hey, the only person that's going to be able to fix me is God." So,
Mm.
and then like I said, you cry out to that point of like, I'm at I'm at the lowest point of my life and I need help. You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm-hmm.
can't get help from
Mm-hmm.
my mother. I can't get help from my father. I can't get help from my wife. I gotta look to that higher power to you know bring
Mm-hmm.
me through. So
Yeah. With me, man, like when I first came into understanding I was an Israelite, I was angry at the Christian church, like especially churches I went to, like Galilee and stuff like that, and Trenton. And but as I matured in it, I had to understand that everything goes through stages. You know
mhm.
what I'm saying? And so at least they gave me a concept of God.
Yeah,
And then the fact that my mom made sure we was there, and the fact that my grandmom in New York, like, is still to this day the holiest person that I know, bro. No, 100, 100. Like, if you if you go to if you ever was in Monticello, New York, and you ask somebody who is the holiest lady in this whole county, they're gonna say Mary Ali, bro. Like, I'm dead serious. Like,
wow,
I never. Anytime I call my grandma house, bro, every time she answer the phone, she say praise the Lord. Like, it ain't no, like she been ministering in the church since she was 18. She's
wow,
80. She's like 87. She never took a salary. She never took a dollar. She never, like, bro. I don't care how old you are, you cannot stay the night at her house with the opposite sex unless you're married. I don't care who you are. I don't care what's going on. She don't
yeah,
play no games. Bro. So I had my mom
hmm,
pushing it down and Trenton and her. So my concept was God was always there, and I thanked them because when I went off the rails, I knew where to go. When
yeah,
everything shattered out. You get what I'm saying? So
hmm,
like you saying, like what do we do from here? What do you do? I remember picking up the cup in the basement towards the end, shaking it with the Ciroc in it, drinking it, saying, "Damn, you're an alcoholic."
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah,
like, 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 like that part, but not knowing that you're gonna be able to get out.
hmm,
So I was consumed of thinking this is how my life is gonna be forever.
oh yeah, because
You
you
know what I
always
mean?
thought
Yeah,
that you could stop and then start and then stop.
yeah,
Like you had all the answers. Like you, to be honest, at one point you thought you was bigger and stronger than God. That's what it
a
was.
hundred percent, a hundred
So
percent, a hundred
yeah.
percent. Go ahead, you can knock off the next joint.
Go ahead, because I'm about to.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
I
I
gotta
got
get
it.
one more bite. Man. I gotta get one
Oh,
more
I
bite.
got you. I got you. Let's look first at the case of the one who says he won't believe the belligerent one. He's in a state of mind which can be described only as savage. His whole philosophy of life, in which he so glorified, is threatened. It's bad enough he thinks to admit alcohol has him down for keeps. But now, still smarting from that admission, he is faced with something really impossible. How does he cherish the thought that man risen majestically from a single cell in the primordial ooze is the spearhead of evolution and therefore the only God his universe knows? Must he renounce all of this to save himself? Yo, you must have read this because that's what you just said about me. You must have read beforehand. Yo, that's the spirit work.
Okay. I do that every week. Why wouldn't I read before?
I was about to say because I thought the spirit was working. I said he just said I thought I was God, and that's what they was talking about.
Yeah,
yeah, man. I mean? Like,
I mean, it goes back to like admitting that you down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People don't understand like the alcoholism and like you can get up from it. You know what I'm saying? It's like being in a fight. You know what I'm saying? You can get knocked out 3 times before it's a KO. You know what I'm saying? You can get knocked up, get back on your feet, and then they'll give you a standing 8 count. You know what I'm saying? But the only way that you will manage your recovery is when you totally submit and admit to yourself that I can't do this by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That's it. I mean, like, you got so many people. I put the addiction to like being in a prize fight, right? You got so many people that control the fight. Your corner can throw in the towel, you know what I'm saying? The referee can stop the fight, you know what I'm saying? The person you fighting can knock you out, you know what I'm saying? And those people still have control of what's going on, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to addiction, once you realize you have no control and you say, God, I'm here and I'm finally ready, that's when your journey to true recovery starts. You know what I mean?
But I think that you gotta be like broken. Because alcoholics, we so selfish and self-centered that any kind of glimpse that we might still do it, we gonna do it.
But that's that false.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna do it.
To be honest, as they would say, that's that alcohol talking, though. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Indeed. So like, let me see if I answered everything on this one. You gotta die to yourself. This starts the mission on dying to who you are, bro. This right here starts that mission of dying to who you are, man.
I mean, the last sentence is the deepest sentence of the whole
100%. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, like,
who you gotta renounce that you think you got.
That's it. You know what I mean? Like
100%. 100%. I don't control nothing. Now I'm gonna let you read the illest. You're gonna know which paragraph is the illest one in here too, because you're gonna relate to it. Yeah, you probably know if you read through it. That joint ain't no joke. It says at this juncture, his AA sponsor usually laughs. This the newcomer thinks is just about the last straw. This is the beginning of the end, and so it is. The beginning of the end of his old life and the beginning of the emergence into a new one. His sponsor probably says, take it easy. The hoop you will have to jump through is a lot wider than you think. At least I found it so. So a friend of mine who was a one-time vice president at American Atheist Society, but he thought through with room to spare. Well, said the newcomer, I know you're telling me the truth and no doubt, in fact, that AA is full of people who believe as I do. But just how, in these circumstances, does a fellow take it easy? That's what I want to know. He said, that I agree is a very special question. I think I can tell you exactly how to relax. You won't have to work hard at it, very hard either. Listen, if you would to do these 3 statements. First, AA does not demand that you believe in anything. All of the 12 steps are suggestions. Second, to get sober and to stay sober, you don't have to swallow all of the step 2 right now. Looking back, I found out that it was a piecemeal myself. Third, all you need is truly an open mind. Just resign from the deep society and quit bothering yourself with such deep questions as whether it was the hen or the egg that came first. Again, I say you would need to have an open mind. So my question to you is, going into it, this part of it, did you need convincing that you needed God, or you just knew?
No, I knew. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because I had,
Yeah.
like I said, once you bottom out, you know what I mean? Like, was no
Uh-huh.
nothing else that was gonna save me but God. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, when people say you one drink away from either killing yourself or getting into a car accident or losing everything, that's
Mm-hmm.
where I was. You know what I mean? I was one drink away from, you know, that. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I kept hearing the voice, the Holy Spirit, like, "Hey, man, I got you." You know what I'm saying? But I
Mm.
always thought I could control it, and I would shut it off. You know what I mean? So like, one of the one of the deepest words you said while you was reading is I had to listen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't listening to the spirit that was telling me, like, "Yo, hey, it's a better life for you once you stop drinking." You know what I mean? Because I didn't believe it, because I was like, what's better than what I'm doing right now? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey man,
Mm-hmm.
everybody loves JJ Hoops. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, the money's coming in. The ladies is coming in. You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
why would I stop? You know what I'm saying? So like, I would have the devil in this ear and the Holy Spirit, just like, hey man,
Mm.
I got you. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Mm.
and then it said
Mm.
the third thing is you have to have an open mind. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
I had to open up my mind and be like, hey man, you know, you've been reading this book your whole life. The Bible has taught you and given you the blueprint on
Mm.
how to live your life. If you're not living right, God can't bless you. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I truly made that decision to say, okay, I'm not going to be able to stay sober without the help of God in my life.
Mm. Indeed, and then with me, I understood that one of the biggest problems we have as alcoholics is we want to enjoy it and control it, and we can't do both. If I'm controlling it, I'm not enjoying it, and if I'm enjoying it, it's out of control. And
Yeah.
that's what once we get to that point, is like that's when everything is done.
Oh
But
yeah.
I'm still gonna keep trying to fight and thinking I can control it. You know what I mean? Because that's the whole joy to talk about in the big book, that one day I'll be able to drink again like my fellows. You know what I'm saying? Like one day,
The sad part,
remember we
I don't
always
even miss it, man. You know what I
no,
mean?
I'm
Like,
talking about when we drinking and we
yeah,
going towards that bottom, we don't
yeah,
stop because our mind tells us one
you're gonna
day,
be all right. Yeah.
yeah, I'll be able to drink again like my fellows, man. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it says the sponsor continues. Take, for example, my own case. I had a scientific schooling. Naturally, I respected, um, venerated, even worship science. As a matter of fact, I still do, all except the worship part. Time after time, my instructors held me to the basic principle of all scientific progress. Search and research again and again, always the open mind. When I first looked at AA, my reaction was just like yours. This AA business I thought is totally unscientific. This I can't swallow. I simply won't consider such nonsense. Then I woke up. I had to admit that AA showed results, prestigious results. He said, I saw that my attitude regarding these had been anything but scientific. It wasn't AA that had closed mind, it was me. The minute I stopped arguing, I could begin to see and feel. Right there, step two, gently and very gradually begin to infiltrate my life. I can't say upon what occasion, or I can't say upon what occasion or upon what day I came to believe in a power greater than myself, but I certainly have that belief now. To inquire it, I only had to stop fighting and practice AA as enthusiastic as I could. So my thoughts on this is, when I read like Doctor's Opinion, and I was reading Bill's story and
Mm-hmm.
some of the early chapters in the book, they talk about how like they were so into science back then, like the
Yeah.
scientific part of it, like
Mm-hmm.
psychological and stuff. So once you started drinking,
Mm-hmm.
they figured they could never stop. You could never stop. So they'd just put you in an asylum and
Yeah.
leave you there. Once you became an alcoholic,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have until the God concept came in and they understood
Mm-hmm.
the only way this is gonna stop is through God. You know what I'm saying? Like, because everything else was we gonna send a psychologist to talk to you. The psychologist is gonna be able to fix you, but they couldn't fix AA. So when you read the doctor's opinion, they talk about how the doctors gave up and was like, they need a supreme power to come in to be able to take over their body, because scientifically we can't fix this situation no more. Like, we can't fix the situation. Nobody's getting better. You know what I mean? So that's what I think this brother is leading up to. What you got on that?
I mean, it all starts in your mind. You know what I'm saying? So, like it says when he said, this I can't swallow, I simply won't consider such nonsense. You know what I mean? So, like, back in the day, if people only said that this was the way that you could get sober, they only knew one way. You know what I mean? Like you said, put people in, hospitals, lock them there, so they wouldn't have access to the outside world. You know what I mean? But was they truly getting better, or the treatment that they need? No, because as soon as they got access to the outside world, they went right back to doing what they was doing. You know what I mean? The one thing I respect about step 2 is, like I said, once you give it over to the higher power, you still got to work the steps. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing. So it's like, okay, I gave my life to God, but if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing according to what it is for me to be a Christian, or for me to be a husband, then am I really truly living the right way? You know what I'm saying? So
talk about it, brother. Talk about it, brother. Yeah. Now you hold up, bro. You skipping all the way down to step 12. Practice these principles in all our affairs.
Sorry, man.
We gotta practice these principles in all our affairs.
Now I'm going back to the last sentence you read. It says, to acquire it, I had only to stop fighting and practice the rest of the AA program. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, and you can't. I always tell people like this, even when I'm teaching basketball, you can't go 1 to 10 without going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what I mean? Like, if you come to me and you feel as if you at a level 8 on your basketball skills, guess where we gonna start at? We starting at 1 until I get you up to level 8, and then we're gonna move on. So, like, you gotta practice this daily walk, and you gotta practice what it is to truly submit yourself to God. And
100%, die to your flesh. That's what it boils down to. Go ahead. You can pick up. You want to pick up where it says the only one? Only one.
This only one man's opinion based on his own experience, of course. I must quickly assure you that AA tread innumerable paths in their quest for faith. If you don't care for the ones I've suggested, you'll be sure to discover ones that suit you if you only look and listen. Many a man like you has begun to solve the problems by the methods of substitution. You can, if you wish, make AA itself your higher power. Here, very large groups of people who have solved their alcohol problems. In this respect, they are certainly a power greater than you, who have not even come close to a solution. Surely you can have faith in them. Even this minimum of faith will not be enough. You will find many members who have crossed the threshold just this way. All of them will tell you that once across, their faith broadened and deepened, relieved of the alcohol obsession, their life unaccountably transformed. They came to believe a higher power, and most of them began to talk to God.
So then you tried all that other stuff.
Yeah, like the substitution. Like, I'm not going to drink on Monday. I'm not going to drink on Thursday.
Yeah, we tried all that, bro. Man, I told you, I tried drinking just wine. I tried all types of stuff, bro.
I mean, these closing sentences is deep, man, because
100%.
Like, you could start the process of changing and submitting yourself to God, but you still have to have daily conversations with God. You know what I mean? Like,
I talk all day, bro. I know people think I'm crazy. I just be talking like walking down the thing, just talking to God, like, yo, Father. Yeah, they don't know about when you in this program, man.
I mean, I always tell people like this, I'm going into year 12 of being sober, and I still have to have daily conversations with God. You know what I mean? And it's not like, oh, God, help me do this, or God, help me do. I'm like, no, oh, God, I thank you for allowing me to go through the struggle. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, all praise to the
I
Most
thank
High.
you for showing me that I didn't have control of the situation. You know what I mean? And
All
you know,
facts. All facts.
the
It said,
fallback for me is when I don't have control, I know I can fall back on that higher power. So
no doubt, no doubt. Consider the next plight of those who once had faith, but who have lost it. There will be those who have drifted in indifference, those filled with self sufficiency who have cut themselves off, those who have become prejudiced against religion, and those who are downright defiant because God has failed to fulfill their demands. Woo! Can AA experience tell all these that they may still find a faith that works? Wow. Mm. Drifting in self indifference, filled with self sufficiency, who have cut themselves off. God ain't filled the demands, brother.
oh,
I've
yeah,
been there, man.
yeah.
Been there when I was drinking and stuff, and man, I
Mm-hmm.
wanted God to solve that case, and He wouldn't solve that case, bro. I just turned my back on Him, man, and that's why I'm so dedicated to Him now because He still reached down and grabbed me, man. You know what I mean? And He didn't have to, man. I turned my back on Him, brother. You know what I'm saying? And that's because I wanted everything on my time. I ain't want to wait for what He wanted me to do. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes He gonna take us through that, and we don't even know that we're learning a lesson right now. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And some people are prejudiced against religion because you go through different things in churches and stuff like that, especially when I was young. You know what I mean? And I'm learning, I'm going through something now, but I know I gotta focus on doing this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like I gotta focus on the mission that He brought us to do. You know what I mean? Because the jokers don't know where we came from in them bars and doing all that stuff, just being
Yeah.
about to just throw our lives away. So once He gave us this, threw us that branch, man. You know when the jokers drowning in that pool and they stick that pole in there,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's what He did for us, man.
See,
And,
but the difference is, right?
I'm
I'm gonna
grateful.
go back. I'm gonna go back to that. That's a good analogy right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it goes back to you drowning
Mm-hmm.
and somebody throw you a lifeline. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they give you a stick. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the stick ain't good enough. You know what I mean? Sometimes the person that's holding the stick gotta jump in the pool and physically pull you out. You know what I mean?
Facts,
Like,
facts, cause you
and that's
still,
it. So,
cause you still wilding. You still
you know,
wilding.
and then you said something about your case,
Mm-hmm.
and this goes back to like you said you were kind of upset because you didn't feel like he solved the case. You wanted him to solve the case, right? The
Yeah,
case
early.
was
Yeah.
the case was eventually solved, and this is where going back to the prior paragraph. Sometimes people get discouraged because they pray to God and they want immediate results. You know what I
Facts,
mean?
facts,
You
facts,
know,
facts,
my
facts.
mother got cancer. I'm praying to God to take the cancer away. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
didn't take it away in year one, but he took it away 9 years later. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Facts.
so you got to be obedient, number one, and you got to have that discipline. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Mm-hmm.
ain't gonna preach to you tonight, bro.
No, bro, I bring it out. Bring it
Yeah,
out. You know how we do.
yeah, yeah.
Let's not let that spirit flow if it's flowing, man. Don't
Yeah,
cut the
but that's
spirit
it.
off.
I mean, so like that's what people got to understand. When
Mm.
we put our prayer in the atmosphere, you know what I mean? It's no 7 day forecast to when God gonna bless you. You know what I'm
You
saying?
better talk about it. Talk
I
about it,
don't
man.
pray on Monday and say, "Oh, on Tuesday he didn't come through," or Wednesday he didn't come through. You know what I mean? It may be years that it take for
Indeed.
God to bless me. You know what I mean? So,
Indeed, indeed. Sometimes AA comes harder to those who have lost or rejected faith than to
mm,
those who never had faith at all.
mm,
For they think that they have tried faith and found it wanting. They have tried the way of faith and the way of no faith. Since both ways have proved bitterly disappointing, they have concluded there is no place whatever for them to go. The roadblock of indifference, fancy, self sufficiency, prejudice, and defiance often prove more solid and formidable for these people than any erected by the unconvinced agnostic or even the militant atheist. Religion says the existence of God can be proved. The agnostic says it can't be proved, and the atheist claims proof of the non existence of God. Obviously, the dilemma of the wanderer from faith is that of profound confusion. He thinks himself lost to the comfort of any conviction at all. He cannot attain even a small degree that assurance of the believer, the agnostic or the atheist. He is the bewildered one. When I read that, I just say, I thank my mom. I thank my grandma. No, like seriously, because what about if somebody never raised us with no concept of God?
Oh yeah.
I guess a lot of kids now that I run into that don't have no concept of God, bro.
No, they don't have the foundation that was talking about.
Yeah,
You know,
that part, that
they not,
part, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
their assumption of God is when they see these rappers going up to get an award, talking about I want to give all the
yeah,
praise to God or the
yeah,
most high.
like,
You know what I mean?
like that part, like, so those women in my life, man, that took that time out to make sure I was at church, to make sure I was at Sunday school, to make sure
Mhm.
like I don't take none of that for granted, man,
Oh,
because
yeah.
it showed me where to go when the bottom fell out.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't have that foundation when the bottom fall out. I had a conversation, man, with a brother at the job, and we was talking, and I said that the difference between our generation and the generation now,
Mm-hmm.
and neither one of them is good, but the difference is in the music, our generation was the drug dealers.
Yeah.
So in this generation, the rappers are the drug users.
Mm-hmm.
So in our mind, it was certain levels that we wasn't gonna go to using drugs because people would clown you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you was into a certain state. So you might slip down and go to rehab and there was some shame or something like that. But since their rappers are the drug users, there's really no bottom no more.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like if somebody OD, they just move on and die. And one of the rappers, they just move on like, all right, that's part of it. Let's go.
Yeah.
There's no shame to really get to the bottom because the stuff they rap about desensitizes the fact that they're drug addicts.
Yeah.
And it takes it to the point to where it's kind of cool to do it. Now they
Mhm.
got, I forget the kind of music Rod Wave is called, but it's like sad and dark and dreary and like I don't really want to live. I just like whatever, everything is sorrow around me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and they be loving that kind of music. I forget what it's called, but it's a new it's a different genre of rap music that's of just you just talking about sad stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the sad part about it because it's really no bottom when it come to that.
Mm-hmm.
So walking around in school high or this or that with your pajamas on and slippers and it's like, yo, I don't really, it's just life. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, and that has become regular. And to me, that's kind of scary, man. I feel sorry for them. I wish that I don't know if it's a sign of the times that we're getting closer to the last days, but I really wish that it was a way that we could like pump some life into them, man. And like now everybody's not like that, but
Yeah.
it just seemed like when we was younger, it'd be um out of the school, there might be 20% that be outside drinking, shooting dice, smoking. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Maybe 30, but 70s wanted to be in school. Now it's
Yeah.
like flipped.
30.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, on the streets, man.
Yeah, what you got? What you got?
I mean, it's almost like we learn by what we see. You know what I mean? Like I said, I wanted to play sports. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been around cats that's been in the NBA. You know what I mean? We both have. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And some brothers, you know, was big into the church. Then some brothers was big into the streets. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So you had a choice of which way you wanted to go. You know what I mean? I remember when I played football, you know, every time I would score a touchdown, I would bend down on one knee and I wasn't saying a prayer. I just saw these people on television doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we got to be real sensitive to what our kids are copying. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, like I thought it was okay to be, unfaithful to women because that's what I saw all around me. You know what I mean? I thought it was okay to drink and do all this other craziness because that's what you see. So, like you said, the message that this music is putting out and some of these celebrities are putting out, it's like not good. But on the other hand, you got some people who trying to put out a good word. You know what I mean? So and then you got some of these kids like confused. They're like, wait a second, how can you be out here rapping and talking about Jesus at the same time? So it's like that mixed message, man. So that's what I got for that.
Now you knock off the next two because we about to get to my favorite paragraph in this. One of my favorite paragraphs in this book.
Okay.
It says any number. Go ahead.
Any number of AA can say to the drifters, yes, we were diverted from our childhood faith. 2, the overconfidence of youth was too much for us. Of course, we were glad that come home and religious training has given us certain values. We were still sure that we ought to be fairly honest, tolerant, and just, that we ought to be ambitious and hardworking. We became convinced that such simple rules of fair play and decency would be enough.
Yeah, and decency. Be enough.
Enough.
Now go ahead.
As materials successfully founded upon no more than these ordinary attributes began to come to us, we felt we were winning at the game of life. This was exhilarating and made us happy. Why should we be bothered with theological abstractions and religious duties or with the state of our souls here or hereafter? The here and now was good enough for us. The will to win would carry us through, but then alcohol began to have its way with us. Finally, when all the scorecards read 0, we saw that one more strike would put us out of the game forever. We had to look for our lost faith, and it was in AA that we discovered it. And so can you. I mean,
that's me, bro.
That's anybody that's anybody
me, bro.
That's anybody that's sober right now and trying to work the steps and
that's me, bro.
Continue to stay sober. You know what I mean,
bro? Like, but when I was young, I had that drive. I was like, yo, I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna have my plans. And then when the plans came to fruition and I started doing B-ball spotlight, like Metro Hoops, I was partying a little bit. I was partying, but I was still I had my regular job, but the basketball money had to come from somebody else. When the basketball money was mine, that's when it went. That's when it went crazy. And all I kept telling myself is, he gotta be blessing me because this not stopping.
Yeah.
No matter how wicked I was living, I fooled myself to think. You get what I'm saying? You can relate to that. He gotta keep blessing me because it's not stopping. It's not stopping. That's how Satan fools us, bro. Go ahead.
It was blessing me. It was blessing my family. It was blessing people. The scary part, I'll never forget. I had a good job making great money. You know what I'm saying? I'm working for the housing authority in Long Branch. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm a Section 8 case worker. I got my first basketball check of running a program. I went and work the next day like I'm calling out for the rest of the week. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said, wait a second. I'm going to just be real, be honest, be transparent. I said, wait, dog, I just made $5,000 in less than 3 hours.
Yeah.
Why am I sitting here and work all month for $5,000? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy.
Now put yourself in a position where somebody don't even. I get a check every month and I don't even gotta go to work.
That's it.
And then I do a tournament and I'm leaving and it's just all types of cash to do whatever you want. And
that's it.
And I got this situation going on where I'm trying to escape. and I got all these means to be able to escape with. You get what I'm saying? To escape reality all day long. And then you like, so in my mind, I'm like, I gotta be, and being raised in that wickedness of the 90s with the rap music and like I told you, they fed us the drug dealer lifestyle and this and that. I'm thinking in my head that this is the way you're supposed to live, and just take in terms of trying to get instant gratification all day.
Oh, yeah.
That's the goal, to feel the dopamine all day, but not understanding that I'm going farther and farther and farther and farther away from God. Like farther and farther and farther away from God. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, now for me, like, it's easy for me to not want to have fame and attention because I know it just leads me. All it did was get me a seat in AA.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of how they say. My favorite scripture is, "To whom much is given, much is required." Right?
100%, 100%.
Not realizing, like we were talking about basketball earlier, right? And oh man, my battery. I got to plug my. I think about Rick Pitino. Remember, he got jammed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He got jammed up. He was in a bar. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Out of all places, you would think I'm Rick Pitino. You know what I mean? Like, we've been there. You know what I mean? I was telling somebody this weekend at the AU tournament. Like, you know, when I first got to Macon, I went downtown without my family. I had my wife and my daughter with me. I went down. I got bodied. Went back and picked them up, came back to this place. I only been in here one time. By the time I came in there with my family, they already had a Hennessy and a Corona sitting right in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that power or that attention sometimes that could go to somebody's head. You know what I mean? Like, I never forgot, like, to the point where I'm like, I was a good coach because I would take kids that really wasn't that good and turn them into excellent ball players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope.
Anybody can coach somebody that can already play. You know what I'm saying? But I would take, and I would take bums, and now we have basketball spotlight, and we winning the chip at basketball spotlight. Now my phone is ringing like, yo, I'll never forget one year in your tournament, I'm in the championship playing against the Central Jersey Hawks, and I'm like, wait a second. I'm coaching my team, which is JJ Hoops, but I'm training everybody that's on the Central Jersey Hawks.
Them was the years, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So now I won either way. You know what I mean? Like,
it was like, for me, the road was even more devious because when you going out there and you already got the means, but the people that's inviting you to come to the tournament, to write about their tournaments, they want you to have a good time. So now when you get in town, a lot of time the host is coming to you like, yo, we taking you out tonight. You know what I mean? So now they trying to impress you because they want you to pump up their event. You know what I mean? So now they taking you to, and back in the day in Atlanta, they taking me to Strokers. They taking me to all these different clubs. They like, yo, you can have this, you got, but not understanding, like, I'm out of control. And that's where this thing gets crazy at, because we were so tricked into thinking that was success. You know what I mean? And that's when the power and the lust of the flesh come in at, because everybody is giving you and giving you and giving you, and then your head get blowed up, and can't nobody tell you nothing, man.
Nothing at all, man. I was talking about this weekend. I said, this is how crazy life is. I said, we had that tournament in Asbury at Convention Hall, and we finished up. And we finished up at Shore Christian, where I was the head basketball coach at, right? I had you up on the stage with the table all set up. You doing your writing and everything, right? Everybody coming at you. And I'm sitting there and I'm sitting back like, yo, I got Team California in this gym where I'm the head coach at, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they playing against Boston, right? And
I
I
remember
never forget, Tariq Evans is sitting in the stand, minding his business, right? Right?
There it is. You didn't turn this to a B-ball spotlight podcast.
You know what I'm saying?
I
And this
remember that happened.
and this,
I
and
remember
this man
that
comes
was a
out of the
moment.
stands and
That was
plays on
a moment.
Boston. And I said to myself, what did you do that entire weekend? I said, well, like you said, we had a writer from Sports Illustrated following around
Yep. Yep.
Lloyd Daniels, and it was
Yep.
my job to take them out because at the end of the day, where was the tournament at? It was at Shore Christian Academy. So I was getting all the bread that was coming through the door. So I was just like, so it's that
Yeah.
one thing of how do you navigate that world now? You know what I mean? So when people see that me and you doing this and we doing it from
Yeah.
a sober standpoint, they don't understand how we doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. From being in there is only by because we ain't doing this the spirit. Like I couldn't do this. Like, it was the spirit. Let's get at it. Now we come to another kind of problem, the intellectual, self-sufficient man or woman. To these, many AAs can say, yes, we were like you, far too smart for our own good. We love to have people call us precocious. We use our education to blow ourselves up into prideful balloons. Though we were careful to hide this from others, secretly we felt we could float above the rest of the folks on our brain power alone. Jeez. Scientific progress told us there was nothing man couldn't do. Knowledge was all powerful. Intellect could conquer nature. Since we were brighter than most folks, so we thought, the spoils of victory would be ours for the thinking. The God of intellect replaced the God of our fathers. Whoa. But again, John Barleycorn, which is alcohol, had other ideas. We who had won so handsomely in a walk turned into all-time losers. We saw that we had to discover, we saw we had to reconsider or die. We found many in AA who thought as we did. They helped us get down to our right size. By their example, they showed us that humility and intellect could be compatible, providing we place humility first.
Yeah.
When we begin to do that, we receive the gift of faith, and faith which works. This is faith. This faith is for you too. Whoa. 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 So you got out of college with that big bag, and you thought you got that job with that big bag, and I got a basketball thing. You can't tell me nothing.
Can't tell me nothing.
Until I was broken. Then I was ready to listen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then I was ready to listen, man. You want to pick up on the next one?
Sure. Another crowd of AA says we were plumb disgusted with religion and all its work. The Bible, we said, was full of nonsense. We could cite its chapters and verses, and we couldn't see the beatitude for the get.
Mm-hmm.
And spots, morality was impossibly good. In others, it seemed impossibly bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the morality of the religiousness themselves that really got us down. We gloated over hypocrisy, bigotry, and crushing self-righteousness that clung to so many believers, even in their Sunday's best. How we love to shout the damaging fact that millions of the good men of religion were still killing one another off in the name of God. This all means, of course, that we have substituted negative for positive thinking. As we came to AA, we had to recognize that this trait had been an ego-feeding proposition. And belaboring the sins of some religious people, we could feel superior to all of them. Moreover, we could avoid looking at some of our own shortcomings, self-righteousness, the very thing that we had contemplaciously condemned in others, was our own detesting evil.
Mm-hmm.
This form of respectability was our undoing, so
Mm-hmm.
far as our faith was concerned. But finally, driven to AA, we learned better.
Mm. Mm.
Finally,
Sheesh.
driven to AA. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like I said, I woke up on a Sunday morning. I said I wasn't drinking no more.
Mm.
Fell asleep. Woke up on a Monday morning, and I find myself in an AA meeting. I
Mm.
found myself as the only black person in that AA meeting, and I begin to hear these people talk, and I was like, "Whoa, this they got problems." You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, 100%.
my problems I can control, but then I said to myself, "Why am I here?" You know what I'm saying? I'm here because it was the insanity that alcohol was causing in my life, and I had hit rock bottom, and I said the only way that I'm going to get help is I have to give AA a shot. You know what I'm saying?
You
And
actually knew what was going on in the meeting?
I didn't know what was going on in my first meeting.
Me
The
neither.
only thing I knew that was going on in that meeting from growing up in the church is I felt the presence of God. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Mm.
And what I mean by that, and everybody's horrible stories. You know what I mean? Like, because you hear some of the most crazy things that you could possibly think of in AA.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So as they began to talk about the problems that they had in their lives, I started listening, and I'm like, wait a second. Everybody like, but God, but God, but God. And then, like I said, to start the meeting off with the prayer, to end the meeting with the prayer, you know what I mean? It was just, okay, well, I can relate to this because, I've been praying to God to send me a message to, that I need him and only him. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said, I walked in the first AA meeting and I felt the Holy Spirit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. It's interesting because they talk about how when you start to characterize the people in the churches as hypocrites,
mhm.
so that makes you not want to go to church, even though you should. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When we drinking and stuff, we like, nah, man, I ain't trying to go in there, all them hypocrites anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so we start trying to rationalize why we don't need to go. You know what I mean? And that was true. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You could, I would do the thing. I would go on a binge for like 6 months.
Mhm.
Then I start feeling bad. I go to church for like 2 months. Then I start wilding again for 6 months. Then I go to church for 1 month. You know what I mean? But then I was never consistent. I remember I woke up on a Saturday one day and
Mhm.
I tried to go to an AA meeting in Lawrence, New Jersey by Trenton. And I went in there, bro, and I had drunk the night before and I ain't know what was going on. I ain't know what they was talking about. I ain't know. I just was like, nah, this ain't for me. And I didn't know what was going on, bro.
The
So
first one always uncomfortable, man.
I'm gonna be 100 with you. I give anybody the props of the utmost props that got sober
Mhm.
going off the street into a meeting. Like that's tremendous.
Yeah.
I had to go to rehab. I needed to be shipped away from the alcohol. I needed to be do the detox
Mhm.
5 to 7 days, and then I needed to be trained about life. All I'm serious, all over again. It's no possible way that I could have went to a meeting and stopped drinking like that. Like it's different types of alcoholics. I wasn't that
Yeah.
type of alcoholic. I wasn't that type. Going to a meeting every day, like they say 90 meetings or 90 days, that
Mhm.
wouldn't have stopped me from drinking. I needed to be separated totally from the alcohol.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, and I had to retrain my whole body. But first I had to be desperate.
Oh yeah.
That's the part that's key. If you ain't desperate, you're not getting this done.
Oh, no.
You know what I
And
mean?
then,
You're not getting this done. Go
like
ahead. Go ahead.
I remember one of the craziest parts, like, just getting like past that year of being sober and then still going to church and
Mm-hmm.
being in church, and I would have to really leave out during communion. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't trying to drink, like no wine or no, I don't need to be drinking the blood of Jesus right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
All right. As psychiatrists have often observed, defiance is the outstanding characteristic of many alcoholics. So it's not strange that lots of us have had our day at defying God's Himself. Sometimes it's because God has not delivered us good things of our life, which was specified as a greedy child makes an impossible list for Santa Claus.
Hmm.
More often, though, we have met up with our major calamity and the way of our thinking lost out because God deserted us. The girl we wanted to marry had other notions. We prayed God that she changed her mind, and she didn't. We prayed for healthy children and we presented with sick ones, or none at all. We prayed for a promotion at business and none came. Loved ones upon whom we heartily depended were taken from us by so-called acts of God. This then we became drunkards and asked God to stop that, but nothing happened. This was under unkindness cut of all. Damn this faith business, we said. That answered that talked about what I talked about earlier when it came
Mhm.
to when I wanted all that stuff done and God, like he
Yeah.
said, not right now.
Mhm.
And I remember turning my back on him, man. That like that's something that like I look back at it now when it's like, damn, like you really didn't have no faith.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like sometimes it like, but it's that part you be telling me about myself, like you always trying to be perfect. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
so, but I was like, damn, like you like it was real and you really didn't have no faith. But when I think about it now, I had to do it that way so I could have the faith that I have now.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
it's always something. You know what I mean? Like I said, we work on being rewarded. Like the
Mm-hmm.
comparison to that Santa Claus list.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people who believed in Santa Claus as kids, when they asked for that bike and they didn't get it,
Mm-hmm.
that started the doubt in their mind. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now you transfer. I'm not asking Santa Claus for something. Now I'm asking God for something that He's not doing it. So now I got Santa Claus who ain't coming
Mm-hmm.
through, and now God ain't coming through. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
those seeds of doubt were planted at a young age, or every time we asked for something and we didn't get it, it was always like, oh man, maybe I can't do this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it goes back to like one of the first chapters. I mean, excuse me, first paragraphs that we read about being minded. You know what I mean? Like you can't go by what happened yesterday. You can only go by what's you working for today and what's going to happen in the future. You know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, every step from step 1 to 12, they all go back to step one. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you have to really admit to yourself that this is what's going on in my life. I have no control. I have to make amends with the people. I have to be accountable for not only my actions, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and then the
Yeah.
humility of saying sorry to people that let you down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I tell people like I don't hold no grudges. You know what I mean? Like they like, what's
Mm-hmm.
wrong with bro? I said it's bigger than me. I said me holding a grudge affects my sobriety. So
Indeed, indeed. That's something I gotta take into consideration too. Like I got some stuff going on right now and um it was a like wow, but that's why I'm more here doing this. That's why I'm gonna
yeah.
keep doing
Oh,
work
bro,
that he assigned
I
us
came
to do.
to the door. I said, Mike want to go on. Matter of fact, my wife had just picked me up. Just got off the road.
Mm-hmm.
She picked me up. You text me. I said, Mike want to go on tonight. I said, I ain't going on tonight. I said, it's true stories. I came in the house. I plugged my phone up. I said, that ain't nobody but the devil. I said, let me text him
Mm.
and tell him like, yo, 7:30 good tonight. You know what I mean? Because somebody need to hear what we talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed, indeed. All praises to the most high.
Selfishly, I was like, oh man, I just got off the road. I'm tired. I ain't messing with Mike tonight.
All praises to the most high. All praises to the most high. When we encounter AA fallacy, this part of our defiance was revealed. At no time have we asked God's will for us. Instead, we have been telling him what we ought to be.
Mm,
Oh, let me
mm,
read that again. At no time have we asked what God's will was for us. Instead, we have been telling him what we ought to be.
mm.
No man we saw could believe in God and defy himself too. Belief meant reliance, not defiance. In AA, we saw the fruits of this belief, men and women spared from alcohol's final catastrophe. We saw them meet and transcend their other pains and trials. We saw them calmly accept impossible situations, seeking neither to run nor to recriminate. This was not only faith, it was faith that worked under all conditions. We soon concluded that whatever price in humility we must pay, we would pay. Yo. yo. Yo, what you got for that, bro? Give me something for that, bro.
I mean,
You gotta give me something for that, bro.
Whatever price. I mean, the humility of, you know what's crazy? The humility of being on top and falling to the bottom and working your way up to what is your top. You know what I mean? Not the world's top. You know what I'm saying? Because everything we did in the past, we wanted to be accepted by other people. You know what I'm saying? This is how crazy it was. I wanted to be an NBA basketball player. You know what I'm saying? At 5'9", right? The guy had other plans for me, man. You know
Indeed. That's why I don't tell. Hey, bro, I be sitting there like this crazy, right? So you go in my classroom, right? You saw when I had all that stuff on the walls, all the pictures, right? So my kids be asking me like, Mr. Mike, they call me Ak. They be like, Ak, how did you do? You was doing all of this. Why is you doing this?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's because God wanted me to do. Like, and I couldn't not do it. You know what I mean? It was like God wanted me to, this is what God wanted me to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I remember this dude told me that in rehab. He was like, he used to work for Don King and he quit to go work in a rehab. And I was like, are you crazy? He was like, keep going on your road. One day you'll find out why I did it. And bro, when you tapping into that, bro, you know what I mean? When I'm talking to them kids, and I ain't gonna lie, 90% of the time, I'm victorious.
Yeah.
But when they smoke me, they smoke me, bro. Like before I went to Passover week, I was supposed to only take off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
That I was gonna go to work Monday and Tuesday. They smoked me that other Friday. I was like, I'm burnt. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna win all the time, but most of the time I'm gonna win. But when they get me, and I understand that's part of it. I be frustrated though. I ain't gonna even hold you. But that part of when he said that's God's will for me at that right now. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you can rest in that, it's beautiful. But I think that the true blessing that both of us have, and then we can move on to the next part if you want. He allows us to see that other side already and know there's nothing there.
Yeah.
How many people die trying to get to that other side? You get what I'm saying? Like
it ain't all cracked up to what it's supposed to be, man.
Exactly. Because it never fills that hole in your soul always gonna be there. None of that stuff never fills you up. The only thing that fills you up is the Holy Spirit. That's it, man. That's it. All right, come on, take us home. We almost home. Take us home.
Where we at now? Let us take the guy full of faith. You the guy full of faith right now, Jay.
But he said, but still reeking of alcohol.
No, but I'm just saying.
I know. All praise to the Most High, brother.
But still reeking of alcohol. He believes he is devout. His religious observance is scrupulous. He sure is. He still believes in God, but suspect that God doesn't believe in him. He takes pledges and more pledges. Following each, he's not only drinking again, but acts worse than the last time. Vigilantly, he tries to fight alcohol, imploring God's help, but the help doesn't come. What then can be the matter? The clergy, the doctors, the friends and families
Mm-hmm.
The alcoholics who mean well and try hard is a heartbreaking riddle.
Mm-hmm.
To most AA, he is not.
Mm-hmm.
There are too many of us who have been just like him and have
Mm-hmm.
found the riddle the riddle's answer.
Mm-hmm.
This answer has to do with the quality of faith rather than its
Mm-hmm.
quantity. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
This has been our blind spot.
Mm-hmm.
We suppose we had humility when we really hadn't.
Mm-hmm.
We suppose we had been serious about religious practice when, upon honest appraisal, we found we had been only superficial.
Mm.
Or going to another extreme, we had wallowed in emotionalism and had mistaken it for true religious feelings.
When they
In both
turn on that organ. My bad. My bad. My bad. My
they play that music. In Oh wait, man, because now you're gonna make me stop, man. Because sometimes, when my wife was trying to decide if she was going to give her life to God again, she would be in these churches, Mike, and that organ would start going, and she would start tapping me like, "Watch, watch, watch! They're about to pop! They're about to pop!" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, anyway, let me finish up.
Go
In
ahead,
both cases, we have been asking something for nothing.
mm-hmm.
The fact was we really had clean house so that the grace of God could enter us and expel the exception. In no deep or meaningful sense had we ever taken a stock of ourselves, made amends to those we had harmed, or freely given to any other human being without any demands for reward.
Mm.
We had not even prayed rightly. We had always said, "Grant me my wish," instead of "Thy will be done."
Mm.
The love of God and the man we understood not at all. Therefore, we remain self deceived and so incapable of receiving enough grace to restore us to sanity.
Yo, that's a lot in there, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a lot. Bro, did you peep them steps again in there?
Yeah. They throw them in there and they jam them in, like, you know what I'm saying? But I like how they jam it in because even though the steps are long, you know what I mean? Like, it's a process, you know what I mean? They give you the process real quick, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this what happens when you do this, and then this what should happen. But the most humiliating thing is for me was making the amends. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and then the prayer, praying the wrong way because, like, I used to pray and everything was God, give me, give me, give me, give me. God, I want, I want, I want. I would start to pray. I'll make the prayer all about me. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Instead of for him to use you, instead of you just being a vessel, him telling you where to go. Bro, they killed it. He said the fact that we hadn't cleaned house. That's that step 4. So that the grace of God could enter us. That's 4 and 5. And expel the obsession.
And the scary part about cleaning house, man, is the circle. Like, we go back to the circle of friends that we had. You know what I mean? Although I still have love for them, I had to clean house, man. I couldn't. I couldn't be around that. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
No knock to them, but like I said,
100%. It's levels.
I love Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it's levels. I'm into that process. I'm kind of in that process right now. It's levels, man. It's levels to where you want to go, man. You know what I'm saying? Then it says, in no deep or meaningful sense have we ever took stock of ourselves. That's step 6 and 7. Those character defects. Made amends to those we had harmed. That's 8 and 9.
That's that accountability.
Yeah, and freely given to other human being without demand for reward.
Yeah.
That's 10. And then we haven't even prayed right. That's 11. That's step 11 right there. We always praying for what we want instead of saying, give me this so I could do what I need to do for you, Father.
It's crazy, man. Every
It
morning.
said, what's the quality of faith rather than the quantity? That was our blind spot.
Yeah.
We suppose we had humility when we really hadn't.
Mm-mm.
Bro, when they said the religious practices, we were wallowed in emotionalism and mistaking it for true religious feeling.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm in the church. I'm lit. They turn that organ on Sunday, everything going in. I go home, the emotion fades off. By Monday, Tuesday, I'm back wilding.
It might not even be
Friday,
Monday. It might be as soon as you walk outside the church. You know what I mean? I used to laugh when people used to walk outside the church, spark up a black and mild, walk and get out of church at 1:00, be at the liquor store at 1:05. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what was the point? You know what I mean? So,
I'm gonna finish this out. Few indeed are practicing alcoholics who have any idea for irrational they are, or seeing their irrationality, can bear to face it. Some would be willing to term themselves problem drinkers, but cannot endure the suggestion that are in fact mentally ill. They are better than the blindness by a word which does not understand the difference between sane drinking and alcoholism. Sanity is defined as soundness of mind. So no alcoholic soberly analyzing his destructive behavior, whether the destruction fell on the dining room furniture or his own moral fiber, can claim soundness of mind for himself. Therefore, step 2 is the rallying point for all of us. Whether agnostic, atheist, or former believer, we stand together on this step. True humility is an open mind that can lead us to faith, and every AA meeting is assurance that God will restore us to sanity if we rightly relate ourselves to Him. Wow, brother, that right there, that was good, man. That was good, man. Digging into the Most High. So let's I gotta do a commitment tomorrow for the jails Zoom. So let's see what Tuesday. What you say, like Tuesday or Wednesday was looking like?
Yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday probably good.
All right, so let's shoot for like Tuesday or something and see how that's rocking with.
Sound good, man.
All right, I'll pray us out. Abba Father, thank you for allowing us to come on here tonight. Me and Brother Jay. Father, like you called us to do this, Father. Thank you for giving us the training to be able to get on here and talk and letting the Holy Spirit speak through us, fathers, and giving us the strength to be transparent and vulnerable. We pray that brothers out there that's watching this, even sisters, anybody that's watching this, for it to touch their souls and either want them to be sober or bring them closer to you. All these blessings we ask in your son Christ's name we pray. Amen.
All right, brother. Hey, we gotta get Al back on one Sunday.
I know, man. I'm gonna holler at him and see what he's talking about, man. I'm gonna holler at him. Al making music. I gotta send you a couple of his videos.
I'm sure I want him to make me one, man. Shoot. That's what we did for you, man. Tell that joke I want one.
Al in the lab right now making music. He be hitting me with songs.
Yeah.
Yo, his joints be fire.
I saw the last one he put up. So
yeah.
I'll holler at you, brother.
All right, no doubt. Tell the wife I said thanks for allowing you to come on, man. Chill out. I'll holler at you tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah, you said the games come back on Thursday. When the games come back on?
Well, it's 2 games tonight. Then they come back on Thursday.
All right, no doubt. All right, take care, bro. I love you, man. Take care.
Love you too, man. Be easy.
All right, no doubt. Another episode of Soberheadz, man. We had some fun tonight, man. I like going on there talking. So how I'm doing it is I'm gonna do 3 months of Soberheadz, and then I'll be back to doing From Pain to Purpose. And then of course I'll be still doing the lessons that I've been doing, man, just to give some content to be able to talk about God and give you guys some upliftment, man, in terms of that, man. So take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your night. Shalom.